know about half of you are at. And so we're going to do kind of an abbreviated walkthrough of just body mechanics. And I am sorry that some of this is a little bit heady, but I'm also not sorry because I want you all thinking on that level so that you can answer some of your own questions as we move through this sport and you get better and better at it. So, the things we talked about in Hudson are that there are 3 main ways to take a human being and put them on the ground that pertain to rugby. And I said that there were more of them, but most of them aren't legal. But taking a human and putting them on the back. Picture a table. How do we flip a table over? Option 1, you pick it up, you turn it upside down, and you set it on its back, right? Top. Yeah. So we can do the same thing with a human being. You can pick them up and you can set them down on their back. There's one way to turn a human being over. The other ways we talked about. Send me another one. Friends who were with me? Bingo! Stop the feet while you move their center of gravity. Right, the physics are reasonably simple. You take the center of gravity and you put it outside of their supports. Right? And as human beings, we're all these really good little gyroscopes of keeping our feet underneath us, so something has to stop them in order for us to fall over if nothing's wrong with us. So that one is really important for us for rugby, obviously. Hopefully, obviously, because that's just about every tackle that we make on a rugby field. We take somebody's center of gravity, we move it while we stop their feet from stepping, and they therefore fall over. Bada boom, okay? The other way that we can take somebody and turn them over is like the hurricane method, which is that we just cork that table so out of position that it ultimately winds up on its back, which we talked about is disrupting posture. Is where we get a lot of the good stuff that we do in breakdowns. It's also, on a theoretical level, what y'all are doing to each other in scrums the whole time. You're trying to maintain your perfect body position while the person across from you is trying to disrupt your posture. Because how many of my front rows have wound up in a scrum where your back wound up like this, your shoulder wound up like this, your head wound up like this, and all of a sudden you've lost that scrum real badly. Yeah? So we're going to start by having you partner up. Do something that is stupidly simple, which is that you are going to grab your friend by the shoulders and you're going to torque their upper body out of position. And they're not going to be that nice and easy about it. They're going to take a sort of athletic stance and be kind of strong in their body positioning. And what I want you to experiment with is that the closer towards their center line you go, the more nearly impossible this is. And the farther outside you go, the easier it is. Go through, and that's how much resistance I want them to do, which is I'm going to maintain my good nice 4-point stance. And this is gonna be silly, but please bear with me. What I want you to do is I want you to grab your friend by the shoulder and I want you to go. See how easy it is. That's it. That's all I want you to do. They're gonna do everything they can to stay in their 4-point stance. Absolutely everything that they've got, and your job is still like this. Let's see if you can do it. Ready? Go! Over, but the only part of their body you get to grab onto is their jersey and their spine. Ready? Go! We're not thinking about clearing somebody out square in line with their spine, because oh my goodness, so much work. And we're not thinking lot of, when you watch human beings who don't know how to do a gator roll, a lot of the time they're doing exactly the same thing, just that they're not using leverage points, they're using not leverage points, right? So the classic way that we coach barrel rolls is that we take a slight angle into the contact point, and we come around their body, and we roll them. What's the problem with that? From what we just learned, what's the problem with that?
Squash your head.
Yeah, I'm trying to rotate Allie's torso by rotating Allie's torso, right? Which is a way to do it. But how much easier is it going to be if I catch an arm and I'm rotating that torso from here? Right? Like a lot easier. A lot easier. So anytime we're trying to manipulate somebody in or rough, we're thinking about what can I do to the parts that are farthest away from their center line. And if you can be thinking about that, life's going to be way easier. So I'm not thinking about clearing this way, and I'm not thinking about my contact point being here. I'm thinking about elbow and bicep as the part that I'm working on. Because I want to go as far away from that center line as possible. Right? So I'm not clearing this way. I'm thinking about clearing this elbow. Right? I'm not clearing here. I'm thinking about this. So my clearing motion becomes here. Because now I have a lever as I move my hand. Okay, that's what we were doing yesterday. We're trying to capture a leg. Legs are amazing. Femurs are so long. They're just wonderful. But fundamentally, if you can remember this just as theory, then you can apply it to all those things. How do I move a person? Oh, I need to grab something that's farther away from their center line and leverage it. Yeah? Then you don't have to have every single way you can move a human being memorized. You can just be approaching it going. Make sense?
The thing that helps me, and I've heard you say before, is going into contact pretending like you are half the size of the person you're about to go against. And for some people, you don't have to pretend. But for others, if we all pretended that, we would all have way better body positioning and do a lot less work in the contact.
My two scrum half buddies who were just doing this to each other. They were both giggling and going, yeah, that's how I always do it. If I'm not mistaken. How many of my big friends were giggling and going, yeah, that's how I always do it. Moving the center of gravity. And we're going to hop right back to a drill that we did in Hudson, which is thinking about making a ball and all hit. And I'll have all of you grab a rugby ball, but just stay with me for now. Can I have one of you to demo? We're not going to do impact on this because, hello, here's where we are. But what I do want to do on this is I'm going to come in and make a ball and all round. Right? I've decided that my number one goal is that Allie can't make a pass, or I would play the rest of my footwork and I won't up here. You decide which. But I came in and I made this wrap ball and all. And I'm going to come from here and I am going to start moving my feet so that we're just stepping nice and slow. It's not hard, it's not fast, but I want you to get that feeling. That's where I see us make a really dominant hit and then do nothing with it pretty regularly. Just we get ball and all, we've got everything going, we've got our momentum, and yes, this is mostly for my big kids, but for my small friends, I'm going to pull this around to be something very useful for you in a second. I'm going to go ball and all, I'm going to start Allie's feet moving backwards, and then I'm just going to drop onto her legs. And that's all I want you thinking about. My job is to take my wrap that was really high, and it's to drop it down into the legs. So we're going to go here, like a couple of steps, and we're just going to drop.
Wasn't it from your
Don't leave yet. From here we're going to grab water, and then we're going to split forwards and backs. Backs you're going to be with me and Rian doing lineouts. Backs. I come under. I'm going to grab this. Oh, so you physically grab her